Hello, it's Remuri. You may never heard about me, but it's not that important right now, because you probably don't care too much, right? So there's a thing I wanted to discuss a long time ago, but couldn't. The thing is, nobody talks about one specific and big problem in not so popular game, Schoolgirl Supervisor. Before we get into the topic of discussion, I'll explain to those who don't know the game what I will talk about today. So, if you know the game, just skip to the next time code. Schoolgirl Supervisor, mobile game that is not a Yandere Simulator's ripoff if you think it is. It's a game with its own lore, story, characters, and weirdness. The game is basically about a schoolgirl who just started their shift as a school supervisor, and their mission is to discipline and protect senior students from being bullied and more. They have to do all the quests in a specific order to understand the lore, which is basically kinda hard, I'm not gonna lie, since some of the quests might be weird or even non-logical just based on timelines. But unfortunately, though the game had an interesting lore, in a way aka game dev couldn't finish his project. Why? Well, an answer is complicated, but if you look up to his own words about this, it says, "I want to remake the game, make the code better, change the lore, etc." Which I can basically convert into, I don't like what I did so far, I'd like to remake it. It's actually understandable. He started making Soul Risaro in 2015, so yeah, it's been a while. And now, when I told you in short what the game is like, you may ask me, then what's the main problem with the game and dev himself? Well, we'll get into it. I'm not against dev or supporting him either. I'm telling information that I know and my theories with it, which I think have the place to be, and you understand why. I'm not asking people to hate Noway or something. Hate speech is not the answer to this. We just have to spread the information about it so people will be warned before interacting with Noway or his projects. You were warned and prepared. First of all, I want you to look at these photos of Noway's old builds and tell me, what do you feel while watching this? Do you think it's a game for kids? Do you think it's okay to do such things? Okay, the part with kids is not really true. In 2015, Noway made this game for adults, 18 plus I mean. But there's another trigger. All the game characters are students, which is basically making any arguments useless. It's not okay to violate kids, and being honest, violence is not necessary for the law, mostly, except for the part of the lore with Akane. Everything else is just weird, feels out of place. Okay. Actually, it's not what I wanted to discuss in the first place. We may come back to this specific topic later. Right now, we'll focus on my biggest conspiracy, which is sadly not far from true. The theory is that the Noway is the Nazi. Yeah, you heard it right. The Nazi. Sounds weird, right? Haven't noticed this before? Those flags around the school, they look familiar. Let's look more carefully. What do we see? Red, white circle, and a black symbol. Japanese hieroglyph to be more direct. The meaning of the hieroglyph is rice, and I don't really know why he chose this hieroglyph specifically, but I have a theory. Rice is the most popular dish in Asian cuisine, so maybe that's the reason. Also, school is surrounded by torture devices like guillotine, loops for hanging, this weird thing, X on a stump for cutting off a head, and more. We won't also forget about the school basement that basically is the scary thing in the game that gives you chills for sure. The basement also looks hella weird. It almost feels like this school is a big concentration camp for all the students in it. And the supervisor's job is to punish every student that disobeys, even if they didn't mean to do it. The notes from Akane's diary is confirming my theories even more. Now, when we know all this information, do you still think that the game dev is sane? I don't think so. I don't know what kind of audience should approve this kind of stuff, except for the fetishists or the curious children with interests to everything unusual. Yeah, that's why children played his game, because it wasn't like everything else. But it doesn't make Noway a hero. No, it's still a question why he kept adding BDSM and Nazi-referring stuff into his game without any context for this. It's not even a historical drama or a war-related game, so why? Of course, he deleted red flags later on, before this replacing hieroglyph with pants, which is even more weird and perverted. Of course, he removed every single ability to eliminate students, but it's not answering why things like guillotines is still in game. And more important, why he decided to choose panties. You know, I actually know why. Noway is also a pervert, and this time it's not even a conspiracy. No, we can see many things related to this kink in his game. Also, things I've mentioned before. It all adds to the card, and in the end we have an old kinky man, probably a Nazi and a pervert, and most likely a child like her. Why? Well, you see, the game is still about school. School is the place where children and teens are studying. It's not really okay when a grown-ass man is interested in schoolgirls in this specific way. It's unhealthy. We all know it because of Yanderedev's controversial story. But unlike Yanderedev, Noway is less popular, so people discuss his deeds less, which isn't a good thing. More people should know about creeps and stay away from them at all costs. I really hope that my video will help with that. Please share my video with other people to more and more Schoolgirl Supervisor fans to know this. It will be really useful for people to know what they are dealing with and be more safe.